This is a presentation. This is the presentation. Mute is. Okay, the PowerPoint and it's working. The Cliff Note is a summary book on major literature, short stories, and dramas. Even the testing and foreign language study guides. Shakespeare's dramas are summarized in notes, but also in video. Teachers use Cliff Notes as study guides. They even write one, but they sell it to the Cliff publisher as a moonlighting. And it's been feared the students will not necessarily read the original works. With the plot summaries and short stories condensed, the publishers recognize that teachers and professors write literary rise. But the CEO of the Cliff Notes, Hillgrass, didn't want to overburden with scholarly details, so they hired graduate students instead. Okay, let's take a break and experiment with how we can show the actual summary writing. With the PowerBook, I have ended. And let's go to the desktop. Okay. Now, let's go to the Slack. This is the embedded application for Summarize Bot. Summarize Bot is available for different OS or cross platforms. This is the example demonstration of Summary Bot on Windows, but most of the time I use Summary Bot on my Android smartphones. You can also install Summarize Bot on Macintosh and Chromebooks. Now, Summary Bot summarizes the articles on the web pages, PDF, and even books as I read their manual. But this time I'm going to show you how useful or beneficial or powerful this summarization or summarize bot on the web articles or blogs. This is the recent Japanese news from Japan Times on the coronavirus, and it's been probably translated in Japanese as well. I'm going to incidentally demonstrate Summary Bot can also summarize other languages than English, namely French, Japan, and Chinese for that matter. Okay, now this is the web blog, and let's go back to the Summary Bot. Okay, where am I? Now, Summary Bot has already summarized, but I'll show you how long it might take by actual copy paste the link of the summary page and submit. It was a long, maybe 6 or 5 page long blog in English. I have submitted, the time was 2023. And now it's going and it's done. So let's look at the summary results. It's been displaced as a Chrome resultant. You notice that there are 3 columns or tabs: summary, keywords, and key phrase. Keywords list the frequency in part of the phrases or vocabulary in frequency order. And the herd immunity, Kansen, Gundan, Shinzo Abe, Shisho, and for each lexical items, for example, emergency or state of emergency, how the vocabulary are extracted from the main text. And the summary constitutes the part of sentences. And when we looked at the summary, it is extracted from the main passage or blog. And highlighted sentences are summarized. It constitutes summary as a result. And this is the 20% summary. And if you narrow to 10%, okay. Now, let's watch how summary looks like. I'm not going to read, but we have a text-to-speech already. Now, this can be saved as a text or PDF file for future use or to be translated into, let's say, the Japanese, if you may wish. Now, I'm going to save this PDF, or I had saved already, so I'm not going to show you how it looks like. But let's go back to the Slack. So summarize bot works and computes frequency in the textbook or text, and reorder the extracted lemmatized in it. I think that's more important. Lemmatized, in other words, inflections and allophones or morphemes are condensed or extracted to the roots and suffix. I don't think they have extracted postfix, I mean a prefix rather. And let's see other language. Now, this is the Japanese website. And I don't know whether this can be read in voice. It might, I don't know. Okay. And this is the sort of a long list of news clip where Abe Shinzo is criticized for cherry blossom party. And let's go back to summary broad. Where am I? Okay. And it's been summarized, but probably the link of the summary page is gone. Okay. So I'm going to copy the link of the Japanese blog and go back to the Slack rather, and then after the Japan Times, I will paste this Japanese blog webpage. Wow, it's done in 2 or 3 seconds. Now, I don't know whether Japanese frequency program is more difficult than other languages, but we don't have spaces in between the words. So the program has to overcome the lemmatization, and hotel and is recognized as the independent word rather than 3 syllables of hoteru. And yaritori, so they must have a large collection of lexical or independent words to compute the frequency of the Japanese words. Now, let's look at the summary. And this is 12%, so I'm going to narrow to 10%. So all these Japanese lines are excluded for the summary. Unfortunately, for unknown reason, SummaryBot does not compute key fragments, but the summary can be shown how some keywords are extracted. Now, let's finish and go back to Zoom. I think this shows